Welcome. This is a video on the full moon in Gemini on November 27th. My name is Georges Rabena. I'm an astrologer and I give my personal opinions about every full moon and new moon, usually a few days before it arrives. And this coming full moon will be in Gemini, which is the sign of the twins, which represents a specific tarot card and a specific number. So if you have seen the number 2 come up lately, like 222, or you've seen the Lover's card, or you've seen a relationship come into focus, or a decision that you have to make, because Gemini is all about making decisions, or about speaking up, communication problems, thinking about something, thinking about it again and again and again, and your mind is doing circles. Well, that is basically the energy of a Gemini full moon. And here's the Lover's card. So you can see what it looks like. You see a man and a woman, and above it is an angelic looking figure which resides above them. Behind it is the sun, which represents the ego of the soul, the core of the ego. The ego resides upon its two halves, which are feminine and masculine. When they work together, you have the Lover's card, you have marriage. However, in Gemini, this is the Gemini card, we have often the problem that the mind and the heart, the feminine and the masculine, are not working together at all. And the person is getting stuck in the head, which means they are stuck in the clouds. Like you can see there's a cloud between them, because they're lost in thinking about each other. They're thinking about each other, but they're not married yet. So the main issue of this Gemini full moon is to marry. Not somebody, yourself. It's to marry between two parts, to come to a decision. Commit to that decision, stick to it, because that's Gemini's weakness. That's what the Gemini opposition, the Sun in Sagittarius, represents. Because Sagittarius Sun is very good at making decisions. He just keeps going. The problem is that he's not allowing himself to be distracted at all. He doesn't even consider other options. Doesn't even consider the alternatives. Sagittarius is just singular-minded, And we want to be singular-minded. We feel good about going one path. Sagittarius is about paths to follow. Because every full moon is a sun opposition moon. As an aspect in astrology, we have Sagittarius being in opposition to Gemini. The sun represents what do you feel good about? What do you succeed at? You feel good when you have made a decision and you stick to that path and you go all the way and you do not stop. So what is the Sagittarius card? What is the conflict here represented by as a tarot card? Well, if I can find it, give me a second. Because Sagittarius, like I said, do not stop. So you may be somebody right now where you feel like, if I really want success in this month of November, at the end and the beginning of December and to the mid of December, I need to keep going. I need to stick to my decision. If I allow myself to be distracted, I will not succeed. That is the lesson of Sun in Sagittarius. And the Sun in Sagittarius, my goodness, I had to go through the whole deck, is represented by the Chariot. Yes, I know the Chariot is Cancer in astrology. I know, but I don't care. Because the energy is very clear. This is somebody who's on a chariot. I had a dream of literally being on the chariot this morning before I made this video. He's driven by two cats. Just like on the Lover's card, there's duality, feminine and masculine. He's driven by them. Driven towards his goal. Yeah. He's not residing, he's not thinking like, oh, fair and masculine, ooh, marry. He's not like that. He's like, take charge, go on, come on, let's go, move forward. Yeah. So this is in conflict with, oh my god, where is it? This is in conflict with this. Sun in Sagittarius, full moon in Gemini. Get it? I'm thinking about my feminine masculine parts. Who do I follow? Who do I commit to? How do I balance? I don't know. And let's go. I don't give a shit who wants what. I just go. Of course, there's problems here in both of them. This one gets himself into trouble, like getting into brick walls, accidents. In this one, doesn't do anything. It's passive. Sitting on his ass. So we could be tied between them, We could be a little bit like this, we could be a little bit like that. How do we move forward is the question. So we come to an arrangement. So we can work together with ourselves. We can take your own counsel. Because if you are pulled apart by the information that's coming to you, if you're pulled by the new info, by the new messages, and you're like, oh, what do I do? Oh, this information. It can be very distracting. So this issue here is to get focused. And to do some research, There will be messages. There will be communication. And there could be unions between people. There could be unions between contracts. Like signing a contract, committing to a thing that is long term. Because Sagittarius Sun is future oriented. Gemini is not. But the issues of the present is where our emotions lie in. And we need to wait. We need to not wait, but our immediate concerns aren't about success. Because you see, the moon in astrology, the moon is what you need, but it's not what you're going to feel good about. You're going to be happy if you get what you need. Like, thank God I got the information. Now I can make the decision. Yeah. But it's not you. It's not your personality. It's just how your mind works. Like, what are you thinking about? You're scrolling around the information on how to act. That's all what we're doing with Gemini Moon. And we could also be hiding what we're thinking, hiding our words. And when Sun in Sagittarius says, what do you mean hiding? That's not our personality, that's not who we are, that's not what we are about. We're about the truth. So the truth will be a big issue. And remember, we've just recently come out of this Kazimi, this Mars-Sun conjunction. It's still Mars conjunction Sun on this Gemini full moon. So we're moving forward. There could be things that are said here that could be getting you into trouble. So be careful. Yeah? Because things can turn around very quickly. With Mercury in Sagittarius, we're just going to speak our mind. We're just going to say whatever we think. But that's not going to get us our needs met with Gemini. So how do you say the truth? And how do you not say the truth? Gemini is a sign of duplicity. It's a sign of lying and manipulation. Yes, because it's about how do I make the information digestible to get what I want. Because Gemini wants to get to that. Intellectual supremacy. Being understood. And sometimes to be understood, the truth isn't enough. Sometimes you must reconsider how you say it. Delivery. How do I deliver the information? That's the key. Well, Sagittarius is like, I don't care how I deliver it. I just deliver. It's very chaotic energy. Gemini is more interested in focus. Yeah. It's more refined. Swords. It's like, here's the info. But do you see how the info is crowned? There's like a crown of the sword. How nicely it is dressed up. So sometimes there can be deception, yeah. Literally, there could be a crown, like deceiving the sword, like hiding the sword a little bit. Hiding the danger of the sword. How the sword can cut you. And here it is more ominous. It's more treacherous. And it's unclear how our words are going to be during this full moon. But for many people, they need to make a decision. And then you need to commit to that. So manipulation, moon, gets your needs met. But truth, personality, sun, success and shining and feeling confident. So what do you need most at this time? Do you need personality? Do you need confidence? Or do you need recognition? Go with the truth. But if you need stability, security, and emotional safety, self-regulation, nurturance, self-care, then go with the moon. Astrology can be so simple, isn't it? Isn't it beautiful how you can just explain it like that? Yes, it's so easy actually. You see, the problem is about morals. The problem is about programming. Because we've been programmed for such a long time. We've been so used to doing things the way other people want us to do them, that we've forgotten what our way even looks like. Our way of communicating. How we want to speak our truth. And sometimes we don't want to speak our truth. And sometimes we do. And it's okay to not always be predictable like a robot. It's okay to change. It's okay to adapt to the needs of a situation. And that is really what Gemini is all about. Adaptation to the environment. Those who do not adapt, what happens to them? They die. To adapt is to evolve. To adapt is to change. To evolve is to live. If you want to live, you must adapt. You must change your thinking, your approach. Gemini is about skill. It's about doing things skillfully. It's a trickster. It's the king of swords in tarot. The trickster, what does he care about more? The truth? Or about getting what he wants? Or about shape-shifting, changing to whatever is necessary to achieve the goal? That is really Gemini. And that's why many people don't like Gemini. Because Gemini, if a lie can do it, you don't need the truth. Yeah. For some people, this can be in reverse, the Queen of Swords. For some people, they can be like, no, I want to say the truth. I know saying the truth gets me what I want, but it's too dangerous. It's too painful. I don't want to get out of my comfort zone. I want to be safe. Blah, blah, blah. So they get stagnant because they're not adapting. They're not communicating. Communicate, but in the way that you want. And the needs of a situation. That's why I choose the Queen of Swords, because it's the moon in Gemini, not the sun in Gemini. This is feminine, isn't it? So if the moon is in Gemini, then our thinking has to be based on the foundation of what we need to nurture ourselves, to protect our interests, our foundation, our security, our stability. And sometimes you need to be a little bit deceptive. Sometimes you need to think outside of the box. Right? Don't be in a box. Don't be restricted. She's above the clouds, you see? She's above those worldly concerns of what's right, what's wrong. She doesn't care who's right or wrong. She's just doing whatever she has to do. Now, many people will not like this message. They will be triggered. They will say, oh, so are you telling me to lie? You've been telling yourself to lie. Why are you blaming me? You have been lying. We have all been lying. I've been lying. You've been lying. They've been lying. We've all been in this together. Can we be honest about that? That we've been lying all our lives to adapt to the situation and circumstances of our environment. How we have been forced by people to lie. Because we are surrounded by liars. And the liars are succeeding. The liars are winning the war. The liars are in charge of this world. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. And now Mercury is in Sagittarius. Now we want to speak our truth. But it's opposition the moon. So it's going to be painful. It's going to get out of our comfort zone to speak the truth now. When clearly, to lie is to be stable. Is to be comforted. And sometimes we need our comfort, sometimes we need our stability. Because sometimes there's too much at stake. When you are a child, and let's say your parent is mentally ill, let's say your mother is a narcissist, how are you going to walk on eggshells? How are you going to avoid her violence? Her beating, whooping your ass, basically. How are you going to avoid that if you speak the truth? You're not. She could literally leave you on the street. You could die speaking the truth. And then how is that going to help you? Where does that lead? So of course you learn to lie. But are you still in the past? Because moon represents the past. Our past tendencies are going to be exposed on this full moon. How our past is the driver. How is your past repeating in your communication? Are you communicating differently? Are you adapting? Or are you staying the same? Because Gemini does never stay the same. It's a shapeshifter. You don't see him coming. You don't know what he's going to do next. It's unpredictable energy. That's a trickster. It's like, woo. You have to be like that if you want to succeed moving forward. You have to be flexible. So if you are somebody who tells the truth all the time, ask yourself, are you rigid in your truth? And this full moon will expose how you will suffer for your truth. How you've already been suffering. But this time, it is going to expose what is your truth made of. What are you speaking the truth for? Do you speak the truth for yourself or for somebody else? But if you're lying, and you've been lying all this time, why are you lying? Who are you lying for? Are you lying for yourself or for somebody else? You see, that is really the very personal nature of every full moon. Is bringing up your shadow work. Are you doing this for you? Or is somebody else in control? Is the past, the conditioning that has been set by the environment, and now the environment is taken over, and you're no longer making your own decisions? If you cannot ask yourself this, if you do not know if you are in charge, then you need to make that clear. Yeah, you need to know who is in charge here. Who's in charge of your decision? Because there's the illusions of the moon. Yeah, it's guiding you with intuition to show you the lessons of the past, repeating themselves over and over. And then there's the King of Swords. Gemini wants to take possession of this moon. Gemini wants to say what's going to happen for the next 14 days. Because there's always a cycle with a full moon. So look at your past 14 days, how have things been building up towards this full moon. And how are things going to be after this full moon? We're going to be all about this. How to integrate the King of Swords for success. Because Swords is all air. In Gemini, its highest expression is this. So what is this? This is a very masculine figure. He's very confident. He's like no bullshit. Like he knows exactly how he's going to communicate, to get what he wants. He knows how to use words. He uses them in such a way that he's a teacher, a mentor. He's a businessman. He's on top of the hill, you can see. And he's also very grounded, you see. With his both feet firm on the ground. He's very cynical, very negative. Because he knows. He got all the facts. And that's what he's basing his decisions on the facts, not his emotions. Not this. Your emotions want to take over this. Cannot allow that to happen. Otherwise, it's going to be the problem of your Sagittarius sun, of your chariot, of your future goals. You are heading towards a goal. You want something. You have your focus on something. What is that? What is it that you want? You need to commit to that completely. But you're not going to get there without this. You need this. Only this trickster archetype is going to get you what you want for the next 14 days. Until there's a new moon, we step into a new cycle. But this is how it works. Cycles of nature. So make boundaries. Assert your will through your communication. Know the facts. Understand your enemy. Play him like a chess figure on the chessboard. Make the right moves. You have it in you, Gemini full moon. It's coming. Just be smart. Don't allow your emotions to get the better of you. And then you can have this. This is what you want. 10 of Pentacles. Right. You want the family to come together, heart and mind as one, because you are taking care of yourself. You are presenting this. This is presenting your success. You have become this, and this is why you get this. Okay. All right. So that's the Gemini full moon for tomorrow. So if you found this helpful, leave a like and subscribe, leave a comment, and help me to help you. And if you'd like to have a reading for this full moon, or how things are going to affect you for the next cycle, for the month of December, because that's what we're getting into. I do predictive readings and transits, and I do full natal chart readings. To look also at what house is full moon occupying in your natal chart. Where do you have Gemini? Look at that house, because that is where you experience the need to become this, to be very, very clear. Clarity is the way forward. And clarity is what astrology provides. So if you're interested in a reading like that, I'll be here on Facebook, on Messenger. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.